Pisces, I was having a very interesting time connecting with your energy because it almost felt a little bit paradoxical. I can't help but think of Eye of the Storm when connecting with you. And it's not that you are one or the other, it's you're both. You are both the eye, the calm, the centered presence, and also the storm, the power, the chaos, the intensity. But you're not one or the other, you're observing both. And so this feels like it's going to be sort of an interesting reading, to say the very least. Maybe this is an energy or perspective that you are in right now. Maybe this is kind of the advice. And it's not necessarily dissociating as much as it does feel like almost like a detachment or an unattaching. You're not identified with how you feel, which is sort of interesting. And again, maybe that's sort of the advice for your life right now. Maybe that's just what I'm tuning into. But it feels like there is some sort of major transformation that is going on for you, Pisces, and yet there is a lot of calm. There is a profound sense of centeredness. And I was also getting the expression and the sensation of the relief of letting something go. And what sort of comes to my mind specifically, maybe this is literal for some of you, is almost like when someone dies and they may have been sick for some time and there's this relief. This person's no longer suffering. I'm no longer responsible for caregiving. And maybe there's some sort of guilt for that. So this could be quite literal for you, Pisces, but it could also be symbolic. Maybe there is an old relationship. Maybe there's an old job, an old situation, an old identity, something that you may have identified with or been very attached to. And it feels very natural, very organic to let something go. But there's also sort of a shame or a guilt around doing this, which is so interesting. So definitely let me know in the comments down below, what exactly this is. I did pull a couple of animal cards here. We'll get into the tarot in just a moment. But what was really fascinating to me, Pisces, is that the first two cards I got were actually the same cards that came out for Scorpio. So if you have a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, maybe there's a message in that reading for you as well. There actually was something about like caregiving and taking care of family there. So again, could be sort of a similar message. But we have the otter and we have the shark. And I'm reading this for you in a very different way. You are able to stay aware of what is around you with the shark. You're able to kind of see what's circling around you and also still experience joy or keep a flow, keeping things light. And it's not the same thing as ignoring the intensity. It's not the same thing as ignoring how you're feeling or how others are feeling. That's not what I'm saying at all. It's like this calm awareness. If you're in a tunnel vision, if you're panicked, if you're scrambling to look for something or looking for threats, you find them. But it feels like you need to come to a more calm, centered, joyful place with the otter. So interesting. The other card I got here was the octopus. And this can be a card where there are some, let's say, issues with boundaries. Because we have these arms, we have these tentacles kind of grabbing a hold of things, these suction cups that are attaching to things. And I really do feel like your need to be doing things for other people, to kind of be engaged, or just acting, performing in some role, I think that's where this guilt is coming from. That's where the shame is coming from. There's almost like a shame of you enjoying your life. That's what I'm getting with the otter. It feels different than the way it came through for Pisces, even though these two cards are the same. It's coming through differently. And very, very strong water energy here with otter, octopus, shark. All of these are water or aquatic animals. So the intuition is strong. The emotions are strong. I'm very, very curious to see what else we can dive into here, maybe clarify some of this. As I'm shuffling, I do have a link in my website, or link in the description for my website if you'd like to book a personal reading or distance Reiki session. You can also find all of my other social media accounts. If you'd like to make a one-time or monthly donation to this channel, I do have a Ko-fi, which is a platform that allows you to do just that. But truly, I appreciate all the support you give this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It means more to me than you can possibly know and allows me to continue putting these messages out for all of you. So if this is helpful, definitely consider supporting the channel in that way. There is also a new feature, the hype feature, which can benefit smaller channels like this one. So if you do see it and you do feel so called, definitely consider hitting that as well. I would really, really appreciate it. But again, any support you give this channel means the world to me. So, wow, you have definitely been going through some stuff with the Nine of Wands, Pisces. And I feel like you've kind of been on the verge of burnout. And that's kind of what I mean. I feel like you've been sort of burdened and burned is a word I'm actually getting, which is interesting. The Seven of Swords comes out with that. Yeah, there could be a betrayal. You might feel betrayed by somebody. I'm also just hearing betrayed by life. You just feel like you got kicked while you were down in the past. And I'm sorry if that's how you felt, but interesting. The Empress. I think part of this, in some way, if this is resonating with you, you're supposed to feel like you deserve more. So if things have been hard, if things have been challenging, if it feels like you've been getting kicked while you're down, you don't deserve that, actually. You don't need to earn comfort, stability, love. Maybe some of you were taken advantage of. You overextended yourself, overworked, and someone was just taking. But the advice for you, Pisces, is this Empress. It is to love yourself, nurture yourself, give yourself half of the attention you give other people. Give yourself that kindness, that care, that respect. And there is a sadness, I think, in that too. It's almost like the sadness of looking back, seeing things with hindsight. That's what I'm saying, Pisces. This is a really interesting reading because I feel like the emotions are kind of all over the place, if I'm being honest. Not in a chaotic way, but it's complex. This is complex. Because on some level, there is this opportunity to really love yourself, to really be embodied, to really let yourself feel good. And in doing so, there's almost this recognition of like, oh, maybe certain people didn't care about me. Maybe I didn't need to operate a certain way. Interesting that I said serpent. Maybe there's some sort of connection to snakes for you right now too. Um, mm. For some of you, this could be about friends with the Three of Cups in reverse. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I'm looking at the Five of Cups. There are three cups that are knocked over, and then we have the Three of Cups in reverse. Something interesting can happen when you heal, Pisces, where you're no longer the person other people need you to be. And sometimes that's the doormat. Sometimes that's the fuck up because it helps them feel good. Sometimes there is also a shared struggle or addiction or something like that, because both of these cards might indicate something with substance to me, if I'm being honest. Drinking, other kind of substances. And it almost feels like how sometimes when people go sober, they might lose relationships. They lose connections. They lose that kind of social glue. And that could be part of this loss. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. You're taking care of yourself. You're loving yourself in a new way. You're not pushing yourself or just kind of coping with some pace that isn't sustainable. But I do think it's going to kind of change the way you relate with other people and the way people relate with you. But maybe that's why it feels like simultaneously you're very centered. You're very grounded, actually, right now. You're seeing things very clearly. And you're seeing things you haven't seen before, or things that weren't as clear before are now right in front of your face. What else do we have for Pisces? King of Wands, Six of Wands. You are going to be experiencing some kind of success or recognition, Pisces. And that could also be why certain people aren't so compatible with you anymore. And that can kind of be a shame. But sometimes when you experience some sort of growth or hit some sort of milestone, it can make other people disconnect from you. But there is something here that feels really, really positive. Actually, let's clarify. Why is the King of Wands, Six of Wands here? Emperor. Wow. I feel like you are working very hard towards something, or you are making something, and you're doing it all on your own. And what I'm getting for you, Pisces, is like if you put half of the energy that you give to other people, helping them, working on their stuff, doing their job, and just did this for you, you'd be amazed with how much progress you make, with how much growth you experience. Because I'm just going to say, if you're going into business for yourself or working for yourself, it feels like there is some very good news, maybe even something like a promotion or just some sort of recognition, something that is elevating your status, that's giving you access to more resources, to more things, to more people. You are building something that is truly for you. And maybe now you finally have the opportunity to do that. I'm also going to say there could be something with siblings coming in with this Three of Cups in reverse as well. So there could be something about relationship with siblings changing, leaving siblings behind, some sort of dramatic relationship there that is kind of coming through too. But whatever it is that you've had to let go of, whatever it is that you're grieving or releasing, feel those feelings. Don't bypass them, but don't drown in them. Observe them. See them from the inside out. And then there's some growth. There is some progress. There is something really, really positive here, Pisces. And it's feeling like March, April, maybe from the time you're watching this, that feels like a moment of victory, of recognition, maybe even of gratitude for the things that did not work out. Where is all of this leading? We have the Knight of Cups. Oh, Pisces, this is beautiful. This is one of your indicator cards. Following your heart, following your intuition, poetry, romance, creation, idealism. These are all things that so embody you, and it's like you're finding yourself again. And I do feel like, if I'm being honest, Pisces, people have been taking from you. They benefited from you. But now is the time to shift those priorities, to shift it back to yourself, to work on something that makes you feel fulfilled and passionate. And I really have a strong sense that you will find success with this. Your heart's work with the Eight of Pentacles. Yes, you're building something. You're working on something. Comment down below what this is. Take this seriously. This is your chapter. This is your time. You are living your life for you. And it feels like you're building something, making something. Maybe it's just creating. Because I do feel like some of you are reconnecting with your creativity with the Empress here as well. And you might get some recognition for this. You might find some success even with this creativity. And you've had to put so much energy into things that you didn't want to, things that took from you, things that drained you, things that exhausted you before you even had to do them, before you even started. You're finding a way to give yourself energy back, to do something that comes naturally to you, that makes you feel empowered, hopeful, positive, strong, capable. Or at the very least, that's the advice. Standing up for yourself with the Seven of Wands. Not everyone is going to understand, and unfortunately, not everyone is going to support you. But you don't need everyone's support. Especially from people who are just trying to take from you without being in reciprocity with you. Or maybe it wasn't even like they were taking. Again, maybe there was just some sort of responsibility. Maybe you had to fill a certain role, but something has changed. Something has shifted. And I feel like you're making a lot of changes in your life, too, as a result of this. And the High Priestess. Connecting to your intuition, connecting with your spirit, with yourself. The unseen. You are knowing yourself on a much deeper level. You might even be surprising yourself, or be surprised by what you find when you turn your energy inward. You're going to surprise yourself with the level of success that comes naturally to you. You don't need to try so hard doing something that feels like it's just parasitic. There is a much easier way to do this, Pisces. There's a much easier way to find happiness, to find contentment, stability, love, security, whatever it is that this is about for you. Don't be afraid to walk away with the Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck. And I think this is the last card, actually. The Eight of Cups is a journey of leaving something that might have almost been satisfying, but something was missing. And so you go off in search of something else, climbing to the top of this mountain. You don't know what's on the other side, but you know you need to leave. You know you need to go forward. And it might even feel uncertain. It might feel a little dark. Sometimes with the Eight of Cups, you are able to kind of find this cup and go back. But this feels very different. Some of you might even be moving, literally. Like, it's literally like you are going someplace else where there's a wholeness, there's a completion, there is a realization of something or an actualization of something. It is actually what you want. And maybe you were sort of settling, you were sort of bargaining, like if I work hard enough, if I sacrifice enough, I can get what I want here to be happy. But I really do feel with this Eight of Cups, this is not just about going off. This is truly about leaving something behind, something familiar, maybe something that was once very satisfying or meaningful to you. And you might not know what the next, oh God, why am I getting so emotional? You might not know where you're going. You might be afraid that the best part of your life is over, that you won't be as happy or fulfilled as you were before, once upon a time. But there's something better. I really, really feel that, Pisces. Don't be afraid to take this journey. And don't be afraid to not look back. Don't feel obligated to others. Don't feel obligated to some old version of yourself, even. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to do what feels right for you and to work on the things that give back to you in some way. Very emotional reading, Pisces. I hope this wasn't too heavy for you. I hope this was able to capture some things and maybe even free you from some things as well, because ultimately I think that's what this message is truly about. I would love to hear in the comments down below. Maybe you have another interpretation, something I didn't cover from the cards. I always love to hear from you. Again, I do have my links in the description of this video for my website where you can book with me, as well as all of my other social media accounts, donations, all of that good stuff. If you've made it all the way to the end here, definitely consider hitting that like, subscribe, and bell notification, as well as the hype button if you feel so called. That could be nice. But again, I so appreciate you all. I love you. I'm sending lots of good energy your way. Take care.